Virgo, hi, welcome to your weekly reading. We are entering Sagittarius season. It's your fourth house, you fiery, passionate, earthy signs, you. I hope that you guys are enjoying the start of this Mercury retrograde, as you all are traditionally viewed as the higher octave from Gemini as the ruler of Mercury. Chiron is also a speculative ruler, which we can see the tendency for you all to cause others to heal, which can be traumatic and painful, honestly. Being the one who sends people into themselves for maintenance, being the one who knows so much about medicine or, explores it, can be a work of art, or it could be a work of struggle and triumph. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and the High Priestess. Are you all bringing something new into life? It gives me a doula energy. It gives me the experience of showing up to the scene ready to help a baby or a creation come to be. And we have the Sacred Scroll, so you guys have gotten clear on who you are and what you want to be. And I sense that we had some integration period from your season with the sun having moved into Libra, your second house, and finishing its transit in Scorpio, your third house, and now making its way into your fourth house, the house of the mother, the same gender parent as you, which also has the sign of Mercury in it, the opposite rulership. So your 10th house rulership is Gemini, your legacy. And with this retrograde, it's really cool because there will be, at maximum, be a 9-degree orb helping you guys, I sense, to better nurture yourselves from moment to moment. And maybe you're dueling yourself, and maybe you're allowing for your own needs to be something that you're constantly tending to. You have your scroll to make sure that you've checked your list, you've checked it twice, and you will be on Santa's good list this year. Let's see, what does the Ace of Coins say? How do you see your role in the world? Do you want to take it easy, or do you want to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders like the Titan Atlantis? Your talents become clear in the face of huge challenges. I almost said crisis. But also in the sum total of small achievements. Recognize the power within yourself. The world is waiting for your special contribution. Conquer the world with creativity and passion. And I sense that this is an intuitive passion. The moon will start off in your sign, giving you guys a heightened sense of where you have emotional static, where your feelings go haywire and flip-flop, and sometimes that's where you can kind of like smack someone with the shoe whenever they come to you for healing, and you're like, shut up, or whatever blurb you guys might have, which I feel like Virgos really do speak in blurbs to me, but it's a 12th house thing. So we have on the 1st of December, at the end of the week, a new moon in your fourth house. So this is rebirthing the actions that you might take for ensuring that you have good feelings within you, that you're harboring love within you as your fuel, rather than frenzy or ego or that to-do list being the reason that you move, rather than your heart saying, I love all of these items on my to-do list. It's going to make me feel so connected to my heritage, my legacy. It's going to improve the lives of many, and flipping the script to where we are living for love and we're getting all of our work done because we love what we do. It's a lot easier to be present and show up in our lives when we love what we do. And each person has certain talents which are uniquely theirs. So we are like the two faces of a coin, representing the influences on our character. On one side, experience and expectation; on the other, future events and results. So we have to accept what we're made of, and we will discover and develop our strengths further. And we, when our merit is tested, when we have to put the pedal to the metal and achieve something, that's when we really figure out what we're made of. That's when we see, have I been carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, or am I adequately prepared to live out my dreams? And I feel that we can't do both. We can't carry what everyone wants from us on our shoulders. That leads to the getting, smacking someone with a flip-flop. Whereas whenever we have our own heart's interests and we trust that what's best for us is what's best for everyone, said to me by a Gemini, so that's speaking to your legacy, this is what can move you into alignment. And during this Mercury retrograde, show you how to shift the perspective of, the outer world is giving me these emotions, I'm going to react like this to how do I actually feel, and taking in those feelings and making sure that our cup is full, Virgo, before we go out into the world wanting anything or giving anything to anyone. Inner voice, perfect. High priestesses are encountered throughout human history and mythology as oracular authorities, exemplified by the Pythia of Delphi, sibyls, or prophetesses like Cassandra. Being a mirror, this card counsels you that it is quite correct and effective to seek guidance first and foremost within yourself. So no more asking the outer world for advice or what, the value of your time and energy is. You need to start to, the Mercury retrograde will assist you greatly in starting to understand how you feel and making that feeling presentable, just as it is. Like when you feel angry, you let that fire burn through and you understand that you have limitations, you embrace those handicaps, and you don't carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, taking on more and more and more until you blow up. We want Virgos to feel good and to be disciplined enough to know when they've had enough. And then to do the hermit thing, the Virgo thing, which is also Uranian energy, which that constitutes your 6th house of daily life. You guys need to have that hermit time to feel capable of dealing with so many people needing your guidance and assistance and direction. Many tarot decks depict the high priestess holding a holy book. She's reading the script of her own life. Dali gives her a scroll to hold, expressing the same idea. This card is all about your own role in your personal way of life, personal taste and style, about expressing your own opinion. And I feel that expression of your own opinion, your personal taste and style is what this pinnacle is. It's a way forward. It's you embracing your unique qualities. The predominantly blue hues and the crescent moon symbolize the power of your soul, your inner voice, your moods as changeable as phases of the moon which decide your success in life. So let's read that again. The power of your soul, your inner voice, and your mood decides your successes in life. And there's a cardinal outside. I don't know if it's male or female, but I hear it chirping. It's interesting how Dali depicts the clothing of the high priestess. The outer garment, a kind of cloak, is reminiscent of a nun's habit, as is found in many portrayals of Mother Mary. Underneath her cloak, the figure wears a black and blue sequined evening gown, imparting a mundane and feline look. Like the cat statue in the left foreground, the big head on the left margin, the child's head represents the unconscious. It's kind of like sticking out its tongue here. By the lion. It represents the unconscious mind feeding and tempting the soul with its long tongue. In sum, the high priestess encourages you to develop the power of your own soul and your own inner perceptions in order to mediate between piety and frivolity, none like devotion and cat-like instincts, smart and feline, as is said in Lupin. The script of your life ought to be unrolled and evolved. So the practical advice: listen, become aware of your inner voice, and be open to sounds and timbres as well as silence. Create space just for you. Train your voice and express what matters most to you. That feels very much like a well-rounded hermit, someone who can embrace the silence, and then also when the time comes to speak, they know exactly what to say because you've worked on honing that diamond of your mind, of refining it and making it a polished gem. And I sense that Jupiter going through your 10th house of career and legacy, and always in orb to this Mercury retrograde, it's going to keep you in alignment. It's going to, nice. We got the 7 of discs, seeds well planted, but we also got the traditional charge of the star goddess by Starhawk. So I'm going to read it. I who am the beauty of the green earth and the white moon among the stars and the mysteries of the waters, I call upon your soul to arise and come unto me, for I am the soul of nature that gives life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me they must return. Let my worship be in the heart that rejoices, for behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. Let there be beauty and strength, power and compassion, honor and humility, mirth and reverence within you. And you who seek to know me, know that your seeking and yearning will avail you not, unless you know the mystery. For if that which you seek you find not within yourself, you will never find it without. So that goes back to this iteration of your inner voice. If you want praise, give yourself praise. If you want to feel seen, look at your stuff and give yourself a pat on the back and say, I look good today. Do your mirror work, Virgo. It's going to bring it to you, because when we're radiating, this came up in Libra's reading, when we're radiating that love within and completely basking in the love of our own heart, not vanity, but like really loving ourselves, loving every single fleeting moment in this body as a soul, that's when we start to attract that mutual love, that mutual recognition, that mutual patronage. It feels like you might have some people who support you and who want to figure out what it is that you're doing, but you do have to have that internal balance of distance, hermiting, but also evaluating. This came up in Taurus's reading too, evaluating what maybe didn't work out, didn't pan out with that full moon in Taurus, and let it be washed away with time. Just time. You don't have to force it. It's okay, years later to think of people, places, and circumstances that hurt us, because we're still processing and we deserve that process. We don't have to just cut people off and pretend like we never met them, even though we do that. It's a human thing. And I sense that as Pluto moves into Aquarius, which has already happened as of this week that I'm reading for, we're going to start to acknowledge and understand when that part of us that couldn't be accepted, that was so alien and unique, was bottled up and put on the back burner for later, or just put away in storage, and we are being called now to honor it, to live it day to day. All right. For that which you seek, you find not within yourself, you will never find it without. For behold, I have been with you from the beginning, and I have that which is attained at the end of desire. And that does feel quite a bit like this Seven of Earth, but spoken about in a new way. Going from the Ace to the Seven of Pentacles is just giving this, like, what is the script of your life? Does it have abundance? Does it have fertility written in? Or are you in scarcity mode? Are you constantly battling against the last thing you did without giving yourself praise? That would lead to a snappy Virgo. That would lead to someone who, hits someone with a shoe because they're not giving themselves enough time to hermit or to have their favorite things. We have new moon at the bottom of the deck, and this new moon happening at 9 degrees Sagittarius is definitely giving us the opportunity to see how we can reframe that energy, how we can reclaim. I would even say some of this testy, impatient, mutable energy of 1 minute we're fine, the next minute we're so boiled over. And that balance also came through with Libra. Your second house is going to come through honoring yourself and seeing how valuable you are to your partnerships. Nature, spirits, and healer. So a healer is not someone who heals people. They send people to heal within themselves. Maybe, Virgo, you were being called to take some time and get out into nature for this full moon. We see her sitting in a grove of watermelon, and she's very fertile. She's very pregnant. So for those of you all wanting to conceive, it might be as easy as going out into nature and, getting to know a new tree, or taking time away from the screens to let our eyes focus on things that are in our peripheral vision, to kind of rest assured. That's an energy. Rest assured that the script of your life will start to become part of what you live every day, just so long as you're keyed into what the script is saying and what is playing out, making sure that we have an expectation of positive anticipation. Especially new moons are such auspicious times to plant seeds, to see ourselves thriving, to see ourselves in harmony with nature, to see ourselves in a perfect cycle of blooming, of harvest, of, waiting for things to get really seasonally ripe. The origin of the word evil comes from the word unripe fruit. So, just as I thought, maybe I missed some of these grapefruits, it's interesting to wait until after the initial fruiting for those of you guys who can forage locally or grow things locally in your own garden or nearby. The first fruits may not really have that flavor that fruits later in the season do. And it's interesting to note that the first couple harvests may not be what you're going for unless you know how to cultivate your garden metaphorically and literally. So you can apply this to where it fits for you. Whenever you get into your stride and you understand how much time things need to develop, to grow, to reach their full blossom, to reach their fullest potential, that's when you'll know when to harvest. And it could change just depending on the weather, your feelings, your moods, and the fortune that you're anticipating for yourself, Virgo. I'm so excited. You guys feel like you have a couple mysteries to uncrack and unravel, and it will keep getting more and more interesting as we have this array of planets, the Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, and Pluto direct in your 6th house of daily life. Thank you, Virgo, so much for checking out this reading. Find me on Instagram and TikTok, both linked below. On Instagram, I give a lunar update every 2.5 days. TikTok, I give a 1-minute summary you can watch for your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars, North Node, South Node. See which phases you're moving through and grooving through. And until next time, all of my aloha.